it's a good place for, as far as this sort of spiritual unfolding, because so much will has just been dissolved. And the old ways of orienting to, a drive to either become something, buy something, improve something, like all of these have largely dissolved. The usual ways of orienting to will and to effort have dissolved, and yet what's coming online, or what is remaining, is hard to orient to, as far as what to do and how to move, and when to apply effort and when to just be restful and be still. What I sense is that there's just that little bit of residue of restlessness, energetic restlessness, or the tendencies we have that underlie, or the collection of physical sensations that underlie that tendency to formulate our will toward doership, toward agency, toward constructing an external identity, or a dynamic identity. But underneath it, even when that stuff is deconstructed, there's still that sort of restlessness, it's called. And it can be quite intense, and it can be quite, in a certain very paradoxical way, it's like dysphoric at the same time as there's a sort of euphoria in the experience. A couple things I would offer. One is just be alert to see if there's any remaining emotional material to address, whether it's some feeling of inadequacy, feeling of some shame hiding, some guilt, fear of helplessness, fear of physical helplessness, fear of loss of safety, fear of loss of health. When you're in that place where you are face to face with these fundamental emotional textures in which identity forms, and one very specific one is the fear of complete helplessness. We feel it at a very young age, and then as we get older, we feel it again. And some people feel it in between at various times. People with significant health issues may feel it all their life, or at least have to engage it, engage the truth that fundamentally there's a sort of helplessness to physical life. No matter how healthy we convince ourselves we are, it's a very short time before these bodies, dissolve and rot in the grave and turn into some other form. And, this is just nature. So when you face that, and how you face it varies person to person. But in this process, we all have the opportunity to face it sooner or later. And it's this fundamental fear of being absolutely helpless to the conditions. There was I'm terrible about remembering names, so I always say there was a Zen teacher at some point, or a Zen master, but who would have the monks every day sort of recite, "I am of the nature to grow old. I am of the nature to become diseased. I am of the nature to die." Yes. Right? And that's an important thing to really come to terms with. And there's also a personal element to it that is just that fundamental, innocent fear that you can offer compassion to, offer space to. Just give it all of your attention. If you're, sitting on the porch for a few hours, why not for an hour or two really just say, I want to offer all of my attention, my heart, my interest to any fear that's here, any fear that's hiding here anywhere. I want you to know you have all of the space of my attention right now. You can come and stay here as long as you need to, and leave if you want to, come back if you need to. But I want you to know you're fully acknowledged and fully accepted here, and I want to feel everything about you. So you can offer that kind of compassion, really hold yourself, hold that energy, and that can sort of shift things. The other thing is just to check in with yourself on occasion and just see if it feels like there's something incomplete about this process. If there's something that's not fully integrated or not fully seen through, if there seems to be some remaining dualistic illusion operating, the sense of a subject and an object, things like that. And you can look into those very specifically